Do you suck at celebrating? We're going to talk about it on today's podcast. I've spent the last 20 years studying, teaching, and coaching people to find their greatness and take their lives to the next level. Along the way, it's become evident that emotions are at the root of everybody's successes and failures. Worry and fear are the enemies, and it's time to forge the armor and earn the tools to overcome the two things that could single-handedly destroy your future. Hi, my name is Michael Johnson, and I'm a life coach, a peak performance trainer, and I'm the emotions guy. It's time to take back control of how you feel, control of how you act, and control of how you experience life. It's time to become a lifer, a new breed of overachiever focused on living every minute to its fullest. We are responsible for how we feel, and no one and no thing can make us feel anything. Emotional mastery is our journey, and emotional education and intelligence is the key. We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life. What's up, lifers? Michael Johnson here with the Magic for Life podcast, and I'm so glad that you joined me today because we've got to talk about celebration. Wait, what? What's there to celebrate? You know what? There are a lot of things to celebrate. Come on, guys. I know life is rough. Things are going on in the world that are challenging, and everybody in the social media wants to talk about it. They want to talk about what's challenging and what hurts and what doesn't work right and how it's not going well. And you know what? There are tons and tons of stories about the idea of how we represent things in our world is how they actually are. And I'll tell you about a little bit of those today. But you see, life is meant to be celebrated. We oftentimes work all the time. We work on the stimulus that's coming in from the outside. And as we work on all of the massive amounts of stimulus that's coming in from outside, we start to decide what that means. And we use our representational systems, our eyeballs, our ears, our taste, our smell, our touch, and our feelings to be able to represent what's going on around us. But you notice the word represent is all about representing what came in. That's why it's right? We're presenting it again. And that's because it already happened outside of us. And now we're going to present it again. We're going to represent what happened outside of us. Now, the thing is there are all these filters, right? Our touch, our taste, our eyesight, our hearing, and all of those filters tell us what it is that's coming in from the outside, and we decide, we give it meaning. We give it meaning by representing what it was that came in from the outside. Now, there's tons of stories. There are tons of indications that we can actually choose. And I know what you're saying. I know you're thinking to yourself, yeah, well, I didn't choose this horrible thing that happened to me. I didn't choose for this person to die suddenly in my life. I didn't choose for that person that I love to get that disease and it affected them negatively. I didn't choose that. Well, you choose how you're going to represent what's coming in. And at every step of the way, with every challenge that you are met with, you get an opportunity, a choice to represent what's going on from the outside. And you have to decide what it means. Now, there are lots of tools, just like there are lots of different types of screwdrivers to screw in a screw. You can use a drill. You can use a hand screwdriver. I even saw this really cool screwdriver that has a joint in the middle so that you could get into a hard space and then use it. There are lots of different types of screwdrivers to screw in one screw. So there's lots of different ways to go about what you're representing. And so those tools have to be learned, and some of them you learned and some of them you didn't. And it was even proven. There's this old story of these twins that lived in a family, same parents. And you know what? They were out on the beach. They were playing in the waves. And as they played in the waves, a big, huge wave came and crashed over the two twins, the identical twins that were the same, right? Same parents, same upbringing, same representational systems. And as they were playing, that wave crashed over them. One of them went running back to the parents and said, "This is horrible. I got sand and this is blue. And how am I going to make?" And the parents tried to console him. The other one went, "That was amazing," and ran right back into the surf. But they were raised the same. They had the same beliefs taught to them, right? So we have a choice. We have a choice to represent the world in a positive way or a negative way. And positive and negative are defined by you. Crazy, right? And you define them how? From your parents, from your teachers, from your mentors, from your boss. How did you decide? You should learn. There are lots of ways to learn, right? Now, here's the thing. Are you celebrating your life? And I know I led with that, and we started off with that. Are you celebrating your successes in your business? Are you celebrating your failures in your business, in your world, in your family? It's hard. When you're an aspiring entrepreneur, you look at things and you're like, I really want to be there. I really want to make that jump. I really want to make this happen. And as an entrepreneur, the whole way, whether you're aspiring to be an entrepreneur, whether you are an entrepreneur, every single step of the way, you're going to have failures and challenges that meet you head on and challenge you to grow. Or maybe the other way to look at it is those failures and challenges are telling you to stop and quit. Which one are you? You kind of have to consider it, right? And if you're the one that was failed and quit and failed and stopped and had the challenges and went, no way, but it's still in your soul, it's still calling you and saying, it's time to get going on that idea, because you know what? You only have so many chances, and the soul of the world is only going to call to you so many times before it quits and your soul gives up. So if you're listening to this right now, your soul hasn't given up, but I can tell you, you have to find a way to celebrate the things going on in your life. And how can you do that? I happen to have an idea for you. I want you to go through what I call our celebration calibration. It's kind of fun, right? And nice and catchy. Your celebration calibration. So I want you to do it today. Don't just listen, do it. If you have to, take out your phone, but I'd prefer you to write it, because there's nothing like writing it down, right? Your celebration calibration. I love it, right? There's 3 things you're going to do in this celebration calibration. Are you ready? It's going to rock your world. You got to do it. It's important. Okay, so commit. Do it right now, okay? Celebration calibration. Number 1, you're going to find 3 small ways. 3 small ways you can celebrate the little things. The little things, right? Because you don't go and throw a 200-person party for a little thing, right? But you got to have your celebrations. Take a look at a golfer when they hit a putt, like Tiger Woods. Yes, right? That is a calibrated celebration. He planned it. And if you don't think he planned it, go watch some of his videos and you will see how planned it is. And he celebrates it because he wants it. He wants to feel good about it, right? And we've got to teach our body that we will celebrate. We've got to teach our mind that we will celebrate. And we've got to teach our soul that we will celebrate. Pavlov, the well-known psychologist, proved it with his dogs. We're better than dogs, aren't we? So we can do it. We can train our body, mind, and soul to celebrate the successes. And when we get really fancy, we can start to celebrate the failures too, which is when you know you're making some serious progress. Now, number 2, pretty straightforward. Number 2, we're going to think of how we can do 3 different types of celebration for our medium ways of celebrating, right? Because maybe, for the small ways, it's a high five, or it's a yes, or it's a hug. right? Maybe our medium ways, we're going to find 3, and you should be able to find more. Come on, guys, right? But maybe our medium way is going out to dinner and celebrating. Maybe it's getting that ice cream cone because, you haven't had sugar in 2 months. You're like, today I'm going to celebrate with an ice cream cone because that was wicked cool. Done that, right? Both giving up the sugar thing and the ice cream. Because, you got to celebrate, right? And I love ice cream. Let's not get crazy. But I'm not eating sugar right now, for now, right? But you got to find ways to celebrate, right? Telling friends might be a medium way. Hey, have a friend that you can call up and celebrate with because they're always willing to listen and celebrate with you. Don't call that friend that's like always the naysayer and the contrarian. Don't call them. Call the one that's willing to celebrate with you. Okay. But maybe a medium way, right? Maybe you get to buy a small toy or whatever's small in your world. Maybe that's a medium celebration, right? And when I say toy, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's that new computer you're hoping for. Maybe it's that new pair of shoes. Maybe it's that running pair of shoes. Or maybe it's that cool outfit that you knew you wanted to get the other day, but you were like, no, I'm going to hold back and I'm going to do something that makes it so that I deserve that toy, right? Whatever it is for you. Okay. And then I want, number 3, I want 3 more large ways you're going to celebrate that you love to celebrate. See, these are all ways that you love to celebrate because you've got to remind your mind, body, and soul that this is something you love to do. So 3 large ways. Maybe throw a party, right? Maybe go on a vacation. What are your 3 large ways? Write them down so that you know them, so that you're thinking to yourself, gosh, when I hit that next big milestone on my way to the lighthouse that I'm headed towards, on that big milestone, I'm going to throw a big thing. I'm going to do a big thing. See, I have one. I have 10 that I think about all the time. And I go, you know what? When I hit that milestone, this is what I'm going to do. For my team, I have an idea of what I'm going to do for my team. I have an idea of what I'm going to do for my closest to me. I have an idea of what I'm going to do to celebrate with my family. I get it. I know, right? These are the big ways, right? But we also have to have small ways. And you maybe learned this because if you have children, you know that this is a thing, right? Like you got to have little mini successes, little success parties, right? And sometimes we're willing to go and dance with our 7-year-old because they had a success. They finally wrote their D's the correct direction. You got to have a party for that. You know what I mean? That's a small party, but you know what? Those are big moments because when you teach your mind, your body, and your soul how to celebrate, you release all the really great chemicals in your body, and you don't need anything from the outside to do it. You can do it from the inside out. And it's awesome. So you have your 3 ways. I want you to write them down so that you have them in your mind. That way, when you see and notice and recognize that next success as you're trying to get that next big hook for your next big project that's going to change the world, you can celebrate. Go get some ice cream or whatever's cool to you. Guys, you got to learn to celebrate. Sometimes it seems silly, might even seem dumb. But you know what? It's not so dumb when it's your 7-year-old. They think it's cool. When did we get so prideful as adults to forget that it's cool to celebrate? Right? And it's hard sometimes because other people around you are like, oh, they think they're so cool. They were successful and celebrated. You know what? They're on their own journey. They're on their own path. You teach your mind, your body, and soul to celebrate and forget about the others. Right? It doesn't have to be anything more than just letting yourself know that you did something awesome. I hope this helps today. And if you know somebody that needs to hear this message, please, I would appreciate you share the YouTube channel or the podcast with them if you're listening to this on the podcast. Share it with them. I know you know somebody that needs to hear this message today. And you know what? Let them have it. Let them have that message and let them hear what they need to hear today. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And if you're listening on the podcast on Apple or Google, hit me up with the hashtag Magic for Life. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, and leave us a nice review on Apple. We would love that. And we love to see what you guys have gotten out of the podcast. So let us know. And if there's a topic I haven't covered in a long time and you're like, hey, I got to hear about this, let us know. Send me a message at info@magicforlife.com. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope you have a great day. Don't forget, every minute. We'll see you on the next podcast. Bye-bye. Hey lifers, we expect upgrades to the base operating functions of the things like our phones, cars, and even refrigerators. Why then has it not been made a priority that we upgrade the operating systems of our emotional states? We dance around the subject of emotional mastery from a young age. We have so much more knowledge in today's world, yet we're still teaching outdated methods of emotional education, if any are being taught at all. It's time for a change. It's time for an upgrade to our emotional education. Let me help you learn how to do that. Pick up your free copy of Every Minute at everyminutebook.com.